Hey guys, so we're back again with another reading, and this one is all about what do they reminisce about you. So we're going to see all those things that they think back on, that they replay in their mind, that they wish they still had access to when it comes to you, whether it has to do with your energy, your looks, your personality, your vibe. We are going to get into all of it, and I am going to be doing an extended version of this over on my Patreon. So if you like this topic, we are going to get into it in a lot greater detail over there. We're going to channel some messages from them and just get into some of the things that we're not really allowed to say on YouTube. It's just a lot freer of a space over there. So if you want to join us over there, head to the link underneath the timestamps in my description and in the comments. And if you sign up, you will get access to all my additional readings that I've done for Patreon, over 25, and new ones going up all the time. So we have a lot of fun over there, and come join the party. Like I said, link underneath the timestamps in my description or in the comments. So with that being said, today we have a beautiful selection of desserts to choose from, and maybe one is already sticking out and calling your name. And if it is, you can definitely feel free to skip ahead to that point. If it's your first pick a card reading, you want to go towards the one your energy is feeling called to and drawn to. So don't overthink it too much. It should be the one that just seems to be pulling your energy in, calling your energy back to it. It's always a great practice to kind of take a breath and relax before you head into a reading, but honestly, don't overthink it. Just go with your first instinct, and that will be the pile with the message for you. I also want to mention to you guys that I do have openings for private readings right now. So if you want a private reading with me, a private one-on-one tarot session, then you can get that with me at the link in my description, briarrosetarot.com, to get tarot cards pulled for your situation, whatever it may be, specifically for you, or channeled messages, general reading if that's what you want. So like I said, link in my description if you want to get one of those, and we will get you in for either a half hour or an hour session and find out all the info you want to know about whatever subject. So with all of that being said, I am going to throw the numbers up on the screen of each of the piles so you can see which is which. But that's about it. So if you guys need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you need. We are going to go ahead and jump into pile one. Hey, pile one, so if you guys picked this white cake, this is going to be your reading. So on the top, it's decorated with two juicy looking cherries. Then there's a little walnut or pecan and a little chocolate fan next to it. They really went above and beyond with the decorations on this cake. They did little chopped up peanuts and a little glaze over the cherries. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then on the sides, it's decorated with what appears to be coconut shavings, and then there's some piped on vanilla frosting. So it might be a cherry coconut flavored cake, but it's so elegant and just really beautiful. So let's get right into your tarot. You guys got the Page of Cups, Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, Page of Swords, the Five of Cups, Nine of Wands reversed, and the King of Pentacles. So I can see that the thing your person misses about you right off the bat is your enthusiasm. I feel like a lot of you guys get this look on your face when you're into something, when something excites you, where like your eyes light up and your face just transforms into this look of joy and happiness. And there's kind of a youthful quality to some of you, not that you guys are immature or anything, but I feel like you've never lost track of that enthusiasm in life. You've never become like completely jaded. I feel like you guys are that pile that when something happens that you're excited about, you're going to be like jumping up and down, and you know, like the energy is just exuding from you guys. You guys get happy about certain situations. You probably do get sad as well, but like it's almost like you feel things very intensely. You know, you're not just kind of cut off emotionally like a lot of people might be going through the world, just like dealing with their 9 to 5 and just kind of cutting themselves off emotionally to all of it. You're very alive and awake, and I feel like your person almost loved seeing the world through your eyes, the way you guys would like get really happy about the taste of something. Some of you guys, I'm hearing like ice cream or some kind of sweet, like you guys have a little bit of a sweet tooth for something in particular, and almost like every time you could get it, you would get really excited. And this person really loves seeing that joy, feeling the emotion from you. It's almost like some of them might have a hard time accessing their emotions themselves, because I do feel this line is their energy. And so they might sometimes find themselves a little emotionally withdrawn. And it's almost like seeing the world the way you see it, getting to see your joy, your happiness, your excitement allowed them to access those emotions themselves. I also feel like a lot of you guys are really funny, or they get a kick out of you. They find you amusing. They find you like delightful. Like they just enjoy being around you. It's almost like they're laughing right now, and kind of shaking their head at you and being like, oh my God, like you wouldn't believe the stuff they get into, or like you wouldn't believe the stuff they said. Because that's another thing. I feel like a lot of you guys are really good conversationalists. I feel like you guys have very interesting thoughts, interesting ideas, and it seems that the conversation between you two could just go all night. Like you guys could talk forever. You have a million different subjects that you both have in common as common interests. And I feel like you're always full of bright ideas. You always have something interesting and fun and exciting to say. And whenever you speak, like I just keep getting the word exciting for you guys. Like there's this excitement, there's this delight. Again, I feel like when you guys taste food in this group, you probably really taste it. You're probably not just like, yeah, that was fine. You're like, oh my God, it was the best thing ever. It was so good. It was so delicious. I loved it. Like it was amazing. And I feel like they just loved seeing that of you. Also, you guys are very kind and very giving, very, loving towards others, to a fault sometimes. Actually, they're saying sometimes you guys overgive, or you're very kind to people who kind of, I don't want to say don't deserve it, but I feel like you would give the shirt off your back to almost anyone. Like you guys are so loving and so nice, so giving and sweet, that I think a lot of people, like sometimes you might have had hard time putting up boundaries. And maybe as well, like I feel like this might have been an issue for some of you guys who were actually in a relationship with this person, where maybe sometimes they were like, you don't have to be nice to that other guy, or you don't have to be nice to that girl. Like it's okay for you to tell them you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and you don't have to sit and talk to them for 40 minutes because they're alone at a party or something like that. And if you weren't in a relationship, same vibe. Like I feel like they still witnessed you being really nice to people, being really kind, maybe going out of your way to talk to someone if you felt like they felt alone or awkward, or being very compassionate towards animals. Some of you guys is what I'm getting. You guys are just a sweetheart in this pile, and they love the kind of youthful, compassionate, like I said, non-jaded way of moving through the world that you guys have. You're very kind of Cups energy is what I'm getting right now. So water signy, like Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, not so much Scorpio right now, but of course that can come in later. But I feel like you guys just are very imaginative, kind of dreamy, upbeat, positive, probably love like to dance and that kind of a thing, probably love music, and like just there's a lot of joy coming through. So let me spin the astro dice and see what the astro dice have to say for pile one. What's the astrological energy at play for pile one? So we got the third house, we got Jupiter, and we got Capricorn. So third house relates to Gemini. Jupiter relates to the ninth house. It can also relate to Pisces. And then we have Capricorn, 10th house, Saturn. So that's interesting because, as I was mentioning, I do feel like we got the King of Pentacles for them. And with the King of Pentacles, that can be someone who is extremely like disciplined, but sometimes that can be a little bit too much. Sometimes it can be too disciplined. Sometimes it can be someone who might even have a hard time kind of accessing, you know, their emotions, or making time in their life for like the frivolous moments, you know. So I feel like this person is really good at getting things done. They might be an earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, of course. But sometimes in certain placements, especially like Capricorn, it can be paying attention to work, paying attention to like, I have to get this done, to the exclusion of like the emotional center. And I feel like you guys brought that out of them. I feel like you brought out the side to them that really got to see the world in a dreamy way, got to like stop and smell the roses. Like you would remind them that it's not just about work. It's not just about having to like accomplish certain goals. It's about laughing. It's about having fun. It's about enjoyment. And they might not have smiled in a while before you came around. They're telling me you're genuinely funny. You guys are really witty. And we do have Gemini here, which is a very witty, conversational, kind of playful sign, because Mercury is very playful, and especially in Gemini. And so I feel like you guys always had something funny, witty to say. You guys really are a great conversationalist. They keep bringing that up, that you guys are really smart and you're an interesting talker. Like, you don't talk about boring stuff. You always have something exciting to talk about, interesting to talk about. And it's like they just could listen to you speak all day long. You guys might also have a very beautiful voice. But Gemini is super playful. All Mercury, you know, Mercury is also a youthful energy. And you guys feel youthful to me. You guys feel full of life, very energetic. And again, I feel like this person might, because Capricorn is kind of like an old sign. And I feel like you guys might take on this, or they might have this vibe where sometimes they get a little old and jaded. And when they see your joy, your happiness, it kind of brings them back to their youth. Jupiter can also be kind of that, in my opinion, it's like a playful, it is an older energy technically, but it's also, in my opinion, very fun, very full of life. It's also very philosophical. You guys might have had deep philosophical conversations, deep intellectual conversations, because Jupiter is very highly intelligent. It rules higher education and philosophy and all of that. So I feel like your conversations were just incredible, and it's almost like they don't have anyone else they can talk to the same way they could talk about things with you. So yeah, I feel like the way you speak is something they think about a lot. It's almost like they can't have those conversations with anyone else, because you guys have a great balance between being really smart and intelligent and being really funny, witty, happy, positive, like a bright light type energy. So yeah, let me get some more of the cards for you guys. So actually, let's pull from these cards. So what did they miss about pile one? We got muscles, okay. Face. Voice, okay, we were just saying that. Cheeks, okay. I definitely feel like some of you guys have very cute cheeks, maybe prominent cheeks. And hands, maybe you guys have really pretty hands. Okay, and finally, lips, okay. So I feel you guys, like, again, there's something about your eyes, your face, your appearance when you're into something, and there's a youthful quality to you. So you might have like a baby face with prominent cheeks and stuff like that, or just there's something kind of young and wide-eyed about you guys. I'm also seeing some of you guys have really prominent eyes, big eyes. And again, I feel like there's some kind of a change in them. When you guys get excited about something, like suddenly there's like a flick in them, or like a flicker or a spark in them that they could see, that they loved to just see, when you would be like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Or you would get excited about something someone else said. And I feel like it's almost like some of them are saying they didn't get the chance to get as deep with you as they wanted to, because some of you guys kept it more, like there was a part of you that you kept away from them or something. You didn't fully show everything to them. And I feel like they're still highly intrigued. I feel like they're still highly curious about you, and they want to know more about you. Yeah, I feel like they would like to reach out and initiate contact, because we did get the Ace of Swords. But I also feel like for them, and also I should mention that we did get the Five of Cups and we got the Nine of Wands reversed. So I do feel that they're kind of unsure of how to proceed. They're kind of unsure of like what they should do. They do regret, I think, how things ended with you, but then it's like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? How am I supposed to initiate contact? I don't want to seem stupid. And I feel like they also assume that you guys are, you know, hanging out with a lot of different people, that you guys have so many different options, that it's almost like they're saying, I was so close, I almost made it happen, but I didn't fully get to everything I wanted from this person. And there's still so much left that was left on the table that I didn't get to know about them. I didn't get to fully access it. And I do feel like they they have a lot of it's an unfinished feeling, like unfinished business. Like I feel like they also had a lot to say to you that they never got to say. So they definitely have regret on that. But physically, yeah, I feel like you guys have a very gentle way of moving your hands, or a very graceful way of moving your hands that they definitely think about, something attractive about your hands. And yeah, the way you speak as well, just the way you move your mouth, like, I don't know what to say, timbre of your voice or the pitch or whatever, all those, like all the detailed sounds of your voice, I feel like they really love. So let's get these cards. We got the Sacred Union, Partnership, Romance, the Lady of Lightning, Surprises, Sometimes Shock, Total Paradigm Shift, the Arrow Master, Hitting the Mark, Intention, Detachment, and the Horse King, Assistance, Control. So I do feel, like I said, you, with the Lady of Lightning, you guys can be quite emotional, and I feel like they really loved that. I feel like they really loved seeing your reactions to certain things. Like I said, when you would get excited about something, when you would be mad about something, whatever. I feel like some of you guys are quite feisty in this pile as well, and like you would get mad and you would like throw a fit, but like they found it really cute, and they probably didn't tell you that because it would have made you even madder, but they found it really cute when you would like get upset about something, because I think you're not, I don't know, there's something about them just kind of laughing and chuckling. Like I feel like you guys, everything you do, they kind of find charming. And I'm hearing Everything She Does Is Magic by The Police. So yeah, I think like you could have been, literally just sitting there and they probably would have been like, oh, that's so cute. I think they just kind of, I feel like they were always very attracted to you guys. And I'm also getting this dice flipped over to Uranus. I didn't do it on purpose, but I'm just noticing it now. I do feel like you guys are very different from others. I feel like you guys are very apart from the crowd. Like you march to the beat of your own drum. You do your own thing. You have your own interests. You're not following everyone else. You're not trying to be like the crowd. And I feel like they really respect that about you. I feel like they really respect that. You kind of always surprise them. Like you're never just, oh, okay, they're going to do this next. There's always an element of like, I'm kind of shocked. I wasn't expecting that. Like, I feel like you kind of keep them on their toes even still now if they follow your social media or something. Like, there's something about you guys that you always, I feel like, do what you want to do, and you definitely surprise people, and people don't really know what to expect. And I feel like this person really delighted kind of having the inside track to that. Like, maybe you would talk to them and tell them like, well, next I'm doing this, and they'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe that. And then they'd be the first to know. And I feel like they loved getting to kind of see how your mind works in that way. But I feel like this person is saying they want you to know that they did very much value this relationship. We did get the Sacred Union, so they did have very deep feelings. But I also feel like this person is very detached emotionally, to be honest. I feel like they are a little bit King of Pentacles in like a negative way, where maybe sometimes they look at situations and they're not thinking about their emotions. They're not really thinking with their heart. They're thinking about the logic and the brass tacks and like what I have to do, and these are the facts and logic of the situation. And I feel like you kind of open them up to like this magical, mystical way of looking at the world. Like, oh, there is magic and anything's possible, and you're very optimistic, you're very happy, you're very positive. And I feel like maybe they could be a little bit of a pessimist at times, or just someone who tends to be quite disciplined and has a hard time kind of putting those rose-colored glasses on. And I feel like the way you looked at the world really opened them up to magical possibilities. So let me get some of these cards. I want to shuffle these. What did they miss about pile? Okay, so we got Dolphin. What did they miss about pile 1, Spirit? Rat. Maybe some of you guys were born in the year of the rat. We got Gavel, Lightning, Funnel, Rat. Let's get one more. Key. I feel like there's something about you, and don't take this the wrong way, that's almost kind of selfish. And I feel like this person really liked that about you guys. Like, you're not desperate for their approval, and maybe other people were. Maybe they had a lot of people like trying to get their attention and desperate to get their, friendship or whatever. And I feel like you guys just you're so in your own energy. You're so in like, this is what I want to do. This is what makes me happy. And I feel like you just march to the beat of your own drum. And I feel like this person really, really respected that. So we also got the rat. Like I said, that can be the year of the rat. So some of you guys might be born in 1996, 1984, 1972, 1960, if I'm doing the math right, or even 2008. So yeah, I feel like you guys have that rat quality where you're very sociable, you're very outgoing, you're a lot of fun, and this person just, I feel like they can have fun with you wherever you go. If they take you out to a party, you would be the life of the party. If you are in like a work situation with them, you probably know everyone. You're very talkative. You're very likable. A lot of people just enjoy you. So I think this person, they really respect how smart you are, combined with your fun, outgoing, positivity, your happiness, your joy, your emotions. And I feel like, again, the childlike enthusiasm, the excitement you guys feel towards a lot of things. So I feel like this person, you guys got a level of closeness with them where maybe they knew more about you than everyone else. But then they're also saying that at some point you kind of blocked them off. At some point you kind of pulled away or something. And I do feel like this person regrets that, because it's almost like they're saying, I was almost there. I was so close. And then they kind of put up a wall, or they went away or something like that. So yeah, there's a lot of regret, I think, on their part, just for maybe like, if I had just pushed a little bit harder, if I had just stayed in it, if I had just like kept going, I could have made something happen and broken through that wall entirely. So I feel like they look back at that and they definitely kind of wish they could do things a little bit differently. So let's get these cards. So we got sexual freedom, the divine feminine, compatibility, and dating. So they find you guys very attractive, very beautiful, physically. And again, there's a gracefulness about you. And just, I feel like you guys get more beautiful with the emotions that you feel, because you are very emotional. And when you get excited about something, or when you get happy about something, you just get this look that like animates your whole features. You guys also might be very animated speakers. You might use your hands a lot. You might make facial expressions a lot. But they find you very beautiful. They just could watch you speak all day long. Like they could watch you just read the phone book, you know, and they would just never be bored. Like I feel like they love to kind of get in your head and think about how your mind works. Like they wish they could just kind of crawl on in there and like fully understand how you view the world. So also, you guys had a lot of, I feel like, similar interests. Like, again, I'm getting they could talk about things with you that they can't talk about with anyone else. So you guys shared certain things that no one else would really understand. No one else would really get to the same level. So yeah, they just, it's like they could feel open with you. It's like they could kind of put down their walls and their own masks that they might usually wear. They could kind of unleash themselves and truly be themselves on a really deep level. A lot of you guys, again, like I said, I guess you guys march to the beat of your own drum. And I feel like in a way, because of that, you're very open, like even with them. Like maybe they would tell you like an insecurity, and maybe they're afraid that you would be like, oh, that's really lame, or that's really weird. But instead, you guys would be like super understanding, super nice about it, super loving. I just feel like they're like, wow, I could really, really be myself. And we did get sexual freedom. So they also, fantasize about, your sexuality and how attractive you guys are in that sense. I am going to be doing an extended reading for these readings. So you can check out my Patreon if you want more details on all of that. And you'll get access to all my readings over there. But yeah, I mean, we can't talk too much about it on YouTube, but they definitely are very sexually drawn to you and find you really gorgeous in that sense. Let me get some of these cards. I want to shuffle some of these. What does pile one's person miss about pile one? What does pile one's person miss about pile one? Okay, we're getting a lot of water energy again. So like I said, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Dances on one foot, balancing act. So I feel like, you know, something that's coming to my mind for you guys is something like you didn't let grass grow under your feet. And by that, I mean, you didn't stick around waiting for them and being like sad and devastated that things didn't work out. You weren't the type of person who was going to like be crying and, you know, like beside yourself. Or if you were, you kept it on the DL. You didn't publicly post it and stuff like that. You very much seemed to be like okay with it or moving on with your life. And I feel like this person just sees the way you go after things and you get excited about things. You don't get like bogged down by this emotion. You're always kind of on to the next, excited, positive, upbeat. And I just feel like they really they're telling me something about them miscalculating. So almost like they might have thought that you were going to be super upset and that they could like, you know, do this and you were going to be devastated and you were going to run after them. But it seems like instead you guys have gone off on your own. And so I feel like there's just this acknowledgement of like, oh, I wish I could have kind of done that differently, or I wish I could have done that better. But yeah, I feel like there's this embrace coming from you guys where they felt like you fully understood them. They felt like they could tell you anything. They felt like you got them no matter what they were going through, no matter what they were dealing with. You really understood them. And also, some of you guys, the way you move your body, the way you guys walk, the way you dance, if you dance in front of them, but if you never danced in front of them, I feel like just the way you guys would like walk through a room and like move your hips is very, very attractive. But for some of you guys, you definitely might have danced with them. That seems like your personality. You guys just seem like you are so much fun to be around and the life of the party. So I could definitely see you going to a party and dancing with them for something. So yeah, I think that's what I have for you guys. Pile one, I really hope it resonated. So if you guys want more clarity on this situation, I am going to do the extended reading over on my Patreon. So you can get that if you want to get more details on this situation. And we'll be going into a lot more detail over there on Patreon. So definitely check that out if you like this subject and want to get more clarity on it. And make sure to let me know how it resonated in the comments because I do love hearing from you guys. I love hearing your stories and your thoughts. So let me know what you think. Also, make sure to hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, and make sure you're subscribed if you want to see more of my posts and turn notifications on so you'll find out as soon as they go up. And if you guys want a private reading with me, you can also do that right now at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and I can do a private tarot session for you about whatever topic you want to talk about. So with all of that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be back very soon for another reading. I'm sending you guys so much love and light, and I will see you then. Take care. Bye. Hey pile two, so if you guys picked this green dessert, this is going to be your reading. So to me, this looks like it would be some kind of a pudding because it's really squishy and soft. There's a drizzle of green on the top, so it could be pistachio flavored, maybe matcha, or even key lime. And then it's decorated with a waffle cone fragment. They did a lot of detail on that. Even on the other underside of it, you can see they kept all the detail. There's also a little almond and a green maraschino cherry on the top, drizzled with cream. So it looks really tasty, probably really refreshing in the summer. So for your tarot, you guys got the Three of Wands, Six of Wands, the Tower, Queen of Cups, Ace of Pentacles reversed, Nine of Cups, Ten of Pentacles reversed, and the Seven of Swords reversed. So I feel like your person really misses your adventurous spirit. A lot of you guys are very bold and you kind of do what you want, go where you want. You always have something new in mind. There's something very powerful and potent about your guys' energy. Getting kind of Scorpio vibes, to be honest, because there is a very transformational type of energy about you where you guys, you know, you're always kind of ready for something new. You're always ready to leave the past behind and step towards some kind of new destiny. And I feel like your person really loved that about you. There was this vitality, there was this energy, there was this power coming from you guys where you weren't stuck in the past. You weren't someone who I feel like is like overly optimistic to the point where you're just kind of afraid to confront the truth. I feel like a lot of you guys are very open and honest about how you're feeling about what's going on. And when you are happy, you're very happy, but you're also capable of kind of putting the law down, or laying the law down, I guess is the phrase, and kind of admitting or being honest about a certain situation. And I feel like your person really respected and revered getting your perspective on things, and really misses getting that opinion from you guys. I definitely do feel like they lurk your social media. I'm feeling like a lot of you guys had some really good times together that they do reminisce on, like really fun, like laughing, playing, just having a blast together. And I feel like they think back on that, and some of them might almost have been a little intimidated by you guys at first. And they're kind of saying that maybe they didn't step up to the plate because of that. Maybe they had insecurities when it came to you, because you guys are very powerful, because you are someone that is a force of nature. And so maybe they reacted by being like, oh my God, this is too much for me at first. And maybe that was the reason why things didn't pan out or something, but they're bringing that up, like that they were a little intimidated by you, and maybe they were a little dishonest as well, with the Seven of Swords being reversed. They might have not been fully transparent with you about their emotions or their feelings for you, but I feel like a lot of that is because they see your power, they see your energy, they see your potency about you guys. And when things are good, you are very compassionate. You guys are very loving. You're very nurturing, but I don't feel like it's in a way where you're a pushover. I also feel like you guys will like stand up for yourselves, or like I said, lay down the law when things are bad. Like if someone's acting dysfunctional or bullying someone, you probably would have no problem standing up for them or getting involved or being like, hey, what are you doing? Stop. You know, I feel like you guys are just um, very powerful, like I said, in a scorpionic way. Like you're not going to be messed with. You're not going to let someone walk all over you. And I feel like you guys are very bold. I feel like you guys are always on to the next, always doing something fun, always doing something exciting, always stepping towards something new. And I do feel like this person looks back and they're like, huh, like that could have been really good for me, because I feel like you guys might now lead a very exciting life. You might be doing exciting things. You might be moving or traveling or something like that. Your Instagram is going really well. But I feel like they kind of watch from afar and they're like, oh, geez, like I didn't handle that right. And I feel like they would like to reinitiate contact, because I'm getting that vibe that like things don't feel over to me. And I'm hearing that line from the Notebook, like that I always get. So the one that says like, it's not over, it still isn't over. I always hear that in my mind when there's still some kind of love or connection. Let me get some astro dice for pile 2. So we got 1. So Aries, first house Aries, Uranus, and Pisces. Cool, interesting. So with Uranus, that relates to Aquarius, the 11th house. Pisces relates to the 12th house, Neptune. So right now we have Aries, Aquarius, and Pisces. So some of you guys might have prominent placements in those signs in your chart, but I feel like you guys definitely march to the beat of your own drum, and that's definitely strong Uranus Aquarian vibes. Is like you're not going to follow the crowd, you're not going to follow the path, and also there's something very unpredictable, unexpected about you guys. Some of you guys might have felt drawn to pile 1 because there's definitely some overlap happening and energetically. So if you guys did, you can definitely watch that as well. But yeah, I feel like you guys are very much individualists. You guys are very much someone who does your own thing and you don't really care. And also, again, willing to go against the crowd, because that's kind of hard. Like it's hard to actually stand up when everyone else is like, yeah, that person's horrible. And to be like, actually, I don't think that. Or when everyone's like, I love that person, and be like, actually, I think they're horrible and they're really mean and I don't want to be around them. Like it's really hard to go against the crowd. And I feel like you guys either have certain beliefs or opinions, or like you have some way of looking at the world that's very different, very honest. Like you're not trying to get people's approval. And I feel like they really enjoyed talking with you about those things, because it's like you'd always surprise them with the things you guys said. Like they would always be like, oh, I wasn't thinking that. Like it showed them a different way of looking at the world. And I do feel like you guys are smart. So I don't feel like they were like, that's pretty interesting and that's a crazy idea. I feel like they were like, that's pretty interesting. And actually, you know what? that makes sense too. That really does make sense the more I think about it. So they have a lot of reverence for you. They're coming through to talk about your intelligence and your power, and something about you guys moving on really easily, or not showing that you like not falling apart when you guys broke up, like just being very stoic about it, being very tough about it, just being like, okay, it is what it is. I'm moving on. And I feel like they never got to see like the breakdown that they wanted. They never got to see you like fully lose it or something like that. So they definitely are a little bit, I want to say regretful of how they handled things. Maybe they were hoping to end things in such a way to see a reaction from you, and you never kind of gave that to them. You guys are very graceful with how you move. You guys have a way of moving that I almost feel like is like a queen or something. And you know, Pisces can have a lot of grace because it is the fish. So think of how fish swim through the water and they just kind of glide through the water, right? They just kind of flap their fins barely, like you can't even really see it, and they move their body in that way. That's kind of like that, you know. So Pisces can move with that kind of almost slow seeming grace, where they might not even be that slow, although they might be, but you might just, the way they're moving might be very graceful and might seem like it's not really doing a lot of effort, you know, just like a fish can move through the water in that kind of drifting kind of way. I feel like you guys, there's a way you move that is kind of slow, and I want to say languorous, like SAT word, but anyway, I feel like you guys definitely move in a super graceful way. Your hands, your gestures, your arms, even the way you like, I'm seeing someone like tilt their head. Maybe you guys do that a lot, like tilting their head to the side and maybe resting their head against their like hand, you know, like, yeah, resting their chin against their hand or something. But like some kind of head tilt you guys do that I feel like is so attractive to them, and really, they just, I feel like, wow, now they're coming through with some kind of risque thoughts. So I'm not going to talk too much about it, but they're very attracted to the way you guys, the way you guys carry yourselves, the grace, the body movements you guys have. And then with Aries, yeah, I feel like you balance, you might have water, fire balance in your chart, because we got Aries and Pisces, and those often come out together anyway because just of the way the transits around the sun happen. They happen within a few signs. So Aries and Pisces, a lot of Aries have Pisces in their chart and vice versa. But you guys might have some kind of balance like that, where you could have other, you know, you could have like Cancer, Leo, or you could have Scorpio, Sagittarius. But I feel like you guys balance this kind of watery, understanding, sweet, loving energy with like a fiery, like, don't mess with me. So if someone sees you as the Queen of Cups and they're just like, oh, they're so nice, they're so understanding, but they're never really going to lay the law down and I'll just walk all over them, you're like, oh, nope, absolutely not. And you know how to, I want to say put someone in their place, but maybe that's a little too harsh. But like, yeah, you know how to like talk back to someone if they're acting crazy, if they're talking out of pocket or something. So I feel like a lot of people kind of might mistake that for you at first, because you do have a kind of graceful, gentle quality to your movements. So at first they might think, oh, this person's just a little sweetie and I'm just gonna do whatever I want to them. And then maybe there's a moment that happens where like they say something a little off or something, and then you're like, oh, well, actually, I think that's kind of messed up. Or you like, they're like, oh, let me just cut in front of you in line. And you're like, oh, sorry, no, I was here. And you know how to like put that fire energy in. So I feel like they look back on like, there's a lot of complexity. There's a lot of depth to you guys, a lot of layers coming through. So let me get some, I want to pull some cards for what kind of features of yours that they miss. So we got cheeks, mouth, maybe the way you move your mouth when you're talking, bone structure. Some of you guys have broad shoulders that they think back on, like the line of your body. Maybe you have broad shoulders and like a narrow waist in comparison. Music taste, thoughts, and face. Yeah, you guys have a really beautiful face. I'm hearing model face. Some of you guys have like a stunning face. Like I'm seeing Naomi Campbell, Cindy Crawford, like I don't know, some of you guys are really good looking, especially your face. You know, you guys just have gorgeous bone structure. And also physically, you might have that, you know, broad shoulder thing that a lot of those models back then had, where you have a narrow waist in comparison, or I don't know, but I feel like they just see you as very strong, very capable, very beautiful. And look, these all flipped over to um, water energy. So literally all the water signs, we got Pisces, we got Pluto, and we got the fourth house, Cancer, and Queen of Cups. Yeah, you guys are giving off a lot of water energy and a lot of that kind of. Another thing is you guys are very psychic, and I feel like they knew that, but they didn't know that. They probably didn't have words for it. I'm getting high priestess vibes as well, like where I feel like you guys just knew stuff. You like they would tell you something about a situation, like, oh, I'm nervous about this, and you might be like, well, no, it's gonna go good, or like, well, be careful about this, and then that would come true. Or you would mistakenly, you would just know, like you'd be able to read people, and maybe they would have a friend that was kind of sketchy, and then they thought their friend was cool, but you were like, I don't really want to be around him, I get a bad vibe, and then something came out, the guy stole money from someone or did something really bad and got exiled from the group. But I feel like you guys just know stuff before it happens. You're very psychic and very penetrating. Your gaze is very penetrating. You guys, when you're looking at someone, you have that kind of scorpionic gaze, that water energy gaze, where you're seeing down into someone's soul. You're really seeing through them, and they might tell you everything's fine. They might tell you like, no, everything's good, but you know, and you rely on your intuition, and you can see through that. You guys are very penetrating with how you look at different situations. You're very smart, highly intelligent, and this is where I feel like they're a little bit intimidated by you, to be honest. Also, you guys might have shared the same musical taste, or there's a connection. We're talking about music. Maybe you had some talk about like what kind of bands do you like, but I feel like they respect your musical taste. I feel like you guys liked cool music, or you give off that vibe. At least if you never had that talk, you give off a vibe of someone who's into some cool, unexpected, maybe like indie music or unknown artists, people that not just like that everyone's listening to, but like a little unexpected, a little bit of a surprise, a little bit of like, oh wow, that's really cool, like no one else I know knows about that band, and they've been to like 5 shows, you know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like you guys, you have really cool taste too. They keep saying cool to me. So I guess they found you guys just really cool. But they also, I think, are saying that like they just, yeah, like your vibe, your energy, it was like they respected it a lot. They thought it was like really cool. That's all I can say. Sorry to repeat myself, but that's just the word they're using over and over. So we got the Desert Prince, survival, false promises, the wise woman of Wonderland, integrity, compromise, the mapmaker of destiny, authentic purpose, inspiration, free will, and the chess queen, trust, strategizing. So again, with them finding you very wise, and like I was saying, penetrating your eyes, your grasp on a situation. I feel like you guys, what they just told me is you would make a great like advisor to a king, or you would make a great spouse for like a very high powered person, like someone who is like a CEO of a company or a president of a country, because you guys are very good at giving advice. You might have done that in past lifetimes. You might have some kind of south node placement, like south node conjunct Mercury, or Virgo South Node, Gemini South Node, where you, or even a Scorpio South Node or something, where you've just been like an advisor role, Jupiter South Node. I feel like you guys very much like helped some, like you're very good at helping. You're very good at looking through situations and giving advice and like listening to someone's problems and then being like, you should do this. You're very, very, very smart. You're very good at strategizing. And I feel like that this person misses getting your perspective on situations, because it's also interesting. Like I said, it's unexpected. It's not just like, what do you think of this? And then you're regurgitating back what everyone else thinks. It's like, you know how sometimes people will be like, hey, does anyone have an unpopular opinion? And then everyone says like the most popular opinions, but they'll cloak it in like, well, I know no one's gonna disagree with me, but like, I really like dogs. And everyone's like, yeah, we all like dogs. Like, hello. So I feel like you guys would be that actual person that would actually say something controversial, like, I hate dogs. Or maybe not. I'm just trying to think of something crazy, you know. But I feel like you would say something that other people would be like, oh my God, I could never say that because the crowd would go against me and everyone would hate me. And you're like, I don't care. Hate me all day long, but I'm going to say what I feel. So I feel like they honestly learned from you, is what they're telling me. They learned a lot from you and they grew a lot from you. I almost feel like this might have triggered feelings of insecurity in some of them where they felt like you were better than them, or they were nervous about like a power imbalance because you guys are so smart, because you guys know so much, that they definitely, it might have triggered some feelings inside of them. But I feel like you guys moved on. What they're saying is you moved on with such grace and dignity. Like when you guys broke up, they might have been trying to get under your skin or something. And I feel like you just moved on. You were just really nice. You didn't even let anyone see you sweat. You just kind of moved on gracefully, just on your way. And I feel like they kind of are like, dang, I really messed that up. Because in a way they wanted to get that reaction from you, but I feel like you guys are too graceful and disciplined, and you have an aspect to you that's very kind of self-controlled. So you don't just let it all out. You're not just gonna like start sobbing, do like an Instagram live. Nothing wrong with that, by the way, at all. But like, I feel like it's just not your style to post your business about everything or let someone know how much they hurt you. You're more scorpionic in that sense. And Scorpios, you know, it can be very private. So I feel like there's an element to you where you're just not gonna let someone, you just don't want to allow them to see that they cause you that much pain. You might be feeling that pain, but I just feel like you're more private. And by the way, I mean, if someone wants to share their feelings online, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying it's not the vibe I'm getting for you guys. And I feel like they wanted, like, it's almost like they were hoping to trigger something like that. They wanted to know you cared. You never gave it to them. And now they're like, that was a really bad strategy. Yeah, I really messed that up. And I feel like you guys are the ones who are good at strategizing. They probably should have left the strategizing to you guys, because I don't think it's their forte compared to you. So we got sexuality. I told you guys that was coming through. Reparenting yourself, spiritual maturity, and intimacy. Okay, so 2 sexuality cards. I can't talk about these too much on YouTube, but I am doing an extended reading of this. So if you guys want to get more details on this, you can always check out my Patreon, and I'll be posting it over there and giving you guys more detail on their feelings in this situation. But I do feel like, yeah, they're very attracted to you guys. That's definitely coming through really strong. Like, I don't know what else to say because I can't really delve into it too much, but they're very attracted to you guys. And I think it is something to do with your grace, your dignity, kind of like they want to see that more raw side of you. You know what I mean? They want, because you are so dignified and because you are so self-controlled, they want to see you lose control, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? That's about all I can say. And that's me being it, trying to keep it very PG, but they're coming through with the like, woo, with the heat really intensely. I mean, they were really attracted to you guys, Pile, too. That's definitely the case. So yeah, I'll talk about that on my Patreon. If you want to join, I'll put the link in my description underneath the timestamps and in the comments. So join if you want to see the extended version where we can talk about those things more. But I feel like so moving away from that, I feel like they really did look up to you, and you guys looked after them to a certain extent. Like when they would get stressed about something, they would come to you, they would ask you for help, they would run to you. And I feel like you guys looked after them in that way. I feel like, again, and as I was saying, High Priestess energy, spiritual maturity, you guys are very spiritual in a way that they may not have been. Maybe they were a little bit of a skeptic. Maybe they were someone who kind of side-eyed like tarot, astrology, that kind of a thing, and thought it was like lame or just wasn't as connected to spirit. And I almost feel like you became a little bit of a, I want to say, a portal for them, where you were their connection to spirit, which really isn't how it's supposed to work. We're all supposed to have our individual connection to spirit. But sometimes when people can't get that directly, they're afraid to connect with spirit. They don't know how. not realizing that any of us can connect to spirit. We don't need anything special. We can just talk to spirit. But sometimes when people are afraid of that, or they don't grow up talking to spirit or anything like that, they might use someone else or use some item, not realizing that they have the power to talk to spirit anytime they want. But they might try to get that through a relationship with a certain person, or they might try to get it through even doing things like overeating or drinking too much or other sources. And I feel like that was a big source of the pain for them when you guys disconnected, is like, there's something about you guys being together that's connecting to the other side. I don't know what it is, but it's like, I'm just seeing some kind of a portal through you. I'm seeing you guys have a very bright light to you. You might really be very psychic, because I'm seeing a bright light over your head, which is often an indication of psychic powers. And I feel like just being around in your aura, because you exude this high priestess energy, they were able to connect to spirit. Now it's like, I have no way of doing that. That's what they think. So there was a major loss. The way you guys would look after them, talk them through their issues, give them advice, help them strategize, was something that really meant a lot to them. And now it's like, I can't believe it's gone. I'm hearing she's gone by Hall & Oates. So yeah, there's a big sense of loss. Let me shuffle some of these cards. See if we get anything interesting. Don't need 10 cards at once. Let's see if we get anything interesting. These cards are so hard to shuffle, honestly. I hate shuffling these, especially with my nails. Okay, Rooster, an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. Sun, four-leaf clover, pin, and dog. Teardrops. Okay, so I feel like, first of all, they were obviously, like I said, very upset when you guys broke up, probably cried a lot of tears. And for some reason, I'm hearing Teardrops on My Guitar by Taylor Swift. So maybe they would listen to like some Taylor Swift song that reminded them of you, or maybe vice versa. But I do feel like you guys have very beautiful eyes, and they were kind of wanting to see you in that sad place. So we did get Rooster. You guys might have been born in the year of the Rooster, which I think is 1993. So it would also be 2005, 1981, 1969, I think 1957. So you guys might be from that year, but you guys are, I think, pretty popular. I think you guys are outgoing. You guys, again, kind of get things done. And I feel like there is this energy about you that this person really respects, in terms of you kind of get things done, and this person might feel a little, it's almost like you were their protector in some ways. They really did look up to you. They really, even though it might not have seemed that way from the outside, maybe you were like smaller than them or shorter than them, but it's like you were almost the one protecting them and looking out for them. And a role model for them, I feel like, in how you carry yourself and in the way that you're not willing to take any dysfunction. You might have called out dysfunction directly to them, because they keep bringing that up. Then we also got the year of the dog, which is 1994, 2006, 1982, 1970, and 58. But very, very loyal. So I feel like you guys would go to the mat for them, protect them, like I was saying. And I feel like they wish they had that energy, because they know that whoever you end up in a relationship with, you are going to be so loyal to them. You are going to really and truly look after them, take care of them, emotionally speaking, and in any way you can. You will always be that kind of ride or die energy that, like, you will never let someone like talk badly about your person or be mean to your person. You are just such a protector. And I do feel like it's on a spiritual level more so than like physically, because I am getting this vibe that maybe some of you guys were smaller physically than them, but emotionally speaking, you are that person that you're like Goliath on the other side. You're like Hulk Hogan on the astral plane. Also, you guys might have a prominent sun in your chart. You might have some Leo energy in your chart, or prominent sun placement. But I feel like you guys have a very bright light, a lot of power to you. And you're doing really exciting things in your life. And I feel like this person is observing that. They probably are lurking your social media somehow and kind of stalking you in that way. I do feel like they definitely look back and they think about like, dang, I probably should not have messed that up because look how good they're doing. They might feel kind of stuck in their stuck and stagnant in their life right now. And I feel like you guys are really moving ahead with that powerful Aries and bold Three of Wands energy we're getting for you guys, that I picked up on throughout the reading, like just on to the next. And I'm hearing on to the next, that song. I can't remember who it's by, but and it's like on to the next one. There's a million ways to get it. I feel like that's your attitude. Like you're just, what's coming next? Okay, like that didn't work out. Okay, moving on, trying something new, traveling somewhere new, moving somewhere new, getting a new job. Like that's your vibe. You're just, and I feel like they kind of are like, I wanted them to be heartbroken and I wanted them to be sad and just like sitting alone at home, not living their best life. So yeah, they definitely miss a lot about you guys, pile 2. So if you want to see the extended reading, we'll get into even more detail on this energy. You can check that out over on my Patreon, and I'm posting the link underneath the timestamps in the description and in the comments. So check that out. You'll also get access to all of my other readings on Patreon, over 25. We have a ton of different subjects, so definitely check that out, you guys. Like I said, a link in my description for that. But I hope it resonated. Let me know if it did in the comments. I love hearing from you guys, so let me know your thoughts on this issue and how it fit you and your story. I love hearing it. Also, make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, and make sure you're subscribed and have notifications on so you find out as soon as I post. I'm sending you guys so much love and light, and I will be back very soon for another reading. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you then. Bye. Hey Pile 3, so if you guys picked this red cake, this is going to be your reading. So on the top, there's 2 little slivers of strawberry as well as a red berry, maybe a cranberry, and then a drizzle of icing or whipped cream and some powdered sugar decorating it. I think this is layered with jam, and it could be strawberry or cranberry jam to match the toppings, but it looks super elegant, perfect for a tea party. But anyway, let's get right into your tarot. So you guys got Strength, the King of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, King of Wands, and the 5 of Pentacles. So your person really misses your advice and guidance and wisdom and this kind of steady, disciplined quality a lot of you guys have. I'm hearing in my mind, you make me want to be a better man, which I think is a line from a movie, although I'm not sure which. But I feel like whether you're a man or a woman, this person feels very inspired by you. This person really reveres you and looks up to you in a way and kind of sees you as an equal in many ways. It's interesting that these cards came out like this, the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles in this arrangement. I didn't really notice as I was just laying the cards out, but I can see now that they're facing each other, and I feel like this person sees you as like a really great partner, almost like wifey or hubby. Like there's this long-term potential because it's kind of like they trust you, they can rely on you, they can know that like when you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. You know what I mean? And I feel like they really miss that quality of having someone in their life that they can look to for help or look to for advice, or that they can open up to. They might not be able to open up to that many people about their problems. I am getting a vibe that some of you guys, it's almost like you're equals, or you share something in common that only you would share. You might have just the same interests or something. I'm also even seeing something like a custody arrangement where it's like 2 parents who share a child and they talk about the child, and it's almost like no one else, you know, no offense to that child, but of course no one else except the parents are going to be like super excited that they like got 3rd place in the spelling bee, or that they are really upset that like they didn't make the soccer team they wanted and they have to go on a different team that's not with their best friend. Like no one else is going to care to have those discussions. Everyone else is going to be like, okay, anyway, like I want the best for your child, but I'm just not as interested because it's, you know, it doesn't really relate to me at all. And I feel like, you know, that's the thing with like shared parenting situations, is like they are on the same page and they have that kind of shared secret. So you guys might actually share, some of you might actually share custody with this person, or it might just be a situation where you guys have some kind of limited interest or some kind of a thing that, again, both you and this person just have it in common. And it's almost like they feel like they could only talk to you about it. You're the only one who will understand, and you're the only one who will get it. They also see you as a bit of a prize. They see you as someone that maybe they had to win over, or maybe you took all, like, it's not, you're not, everyone gets to talk to you. Not everyone gets to be around you. You're not just going to open up to absolutely everyone and like let any kind of clown into your life. I feel like a lot of you guys are very discerning with who you allow into your life, especially romantically, or that's what this person is saying. So when they got to be around you, they felt like that was kind of like validation for them, like that award or something, like when you win an award, and what it really is about is people recognizing you. They saw you that way, like, wow, a lot of people are after them, a lot of people would like to be with them, and they know that you're not going to kind of suffer fools. Like, I feel like you guys, you need people to like come correct, or you're not going to be interested. And so it feels like there's competition for you, or that's what they are saying, is that there was a lot of competition for you, and they kind of came out on top, and they're very proud of themselves for that. They see you as being very sexy and having a lot of people who are interested in you, that you would kind of have your pick of suitors, that you have a lot of offers and a lot of people who have crushes on you. So again, there's that validation factor where they're like, I did it. I got that person. And I do feel like this person envisioned a future with you. I feel like for them, there's this kind of steady energy here where it's not just like a fling where they just want a one night stand, or there's just a lot of fleeting interest. I feel like they definitely were hoping or wanting something that would end up being long term. They were wanting something that would be continuous with you. But I am getting the message also that some of them had commitment issues, so that might have been a problem. But it's almost like they have commitment issues in general, and you're the one person that could break through that, that could make them think. Because again, we got the Two of Pentacles, and I just feel like for them, with you, they see this path, this opportunity. They see this kind of two people who are so on the same page. Maybe you guys are both earth signs, because there's a lot of earth energy here. So you could be Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, but it's kind of like, okay, I respect this person, because respect matters a lot to earth signs. I think it's like they just want someone to be as competent as they are and to get things done, to be efficient. And so to meet someone who's their equal, I feel like it was like, oh, okay, maybe this could be long term. Maybe I actually could see a future with this person, and that's really exciting. Also, physically, they find you guys very attractive, that you have a very beautiful body. You guys might work out or something. We did get the strength card, so you could be physically quite strong, but they find your body very attractive and your force of energy. Like, I feel like you guys are just a powerhouse. You get things done, and they really love that. It's like, to them, that's a turn on. That's sexy. They admire the fact that you guys, you're not like a damsel in distress, kind of, you know what I mean? Like, they can really look up to you. They can really see you and know that you kind of have their back and that you're powerful. And I feel like to them, that means everything. Also, they find you just, again, very sexy, physically attractive. So yeah, let me spin the astro dice and see what astrological energies are at play for pile 3. So we got Gemini, Pluto, and the 12th house, so Pisces and Neptune. So we have Scorpio, Gemini, and Pisces here. So 2 water signs and then an air sign. So with Gemini coming in, I feel like your conversations were really on point, really incredible. And again, there's this energy that only you guys understand these things. Maybe you guys both have some obscure interest or field of knowledge, like both of you guys are like marine biologists and no one else would understand what you do for a living, or you're both at college for a very particular degree, like a veterinary degree, and no one else would understand when you talk about, like, we had a really hard day at the vet's office and there was a dog that was really sick, and maybe you know all the technical terms for like the medical things you used, and no one else would get it, but this person understands. I just feel like you have so much in common, and the conversations were really amazing. And I feel like this person is very turned on by that. Like, I feel like for them, they want to feel like the other person understands them. They want to feel like they're kind of, I'm hearing, not the smartest person in the room. So maybe they are really smart and you're really smart or something. And it's like they're used to dating people that might be a little like, oh, wow, this person's so smart, but don't really match up with the conversation. So the conversation runs out. But there's just something about the way you guys talk, the field of knowledge you have, that it's like, dang, I don't think I'm ever going to meet someone like that who has that level of interest. You guys might also be very creative. We do have some water energy coming through Pluto and, Pluto in the 12th house. So Scorpio and Pisces. So those are both going to be very creative, and Gemini is quite creative as well. And these are all psychic signs too. So I feel like a lot of you guys probably have, it's almost like they might have been a little closed off to the other side, and you guys might not talk about them that much, like talk with them that much about psychic stuff, about tarot, about astrology. Like, I don't know if you guys would have had those conversations. Some of you might have, but there's some energy here about kind of like, they usually don't believe in, like, they would maybe call it mumbo jumbo, or maybe they would like laugh it off like a twin flame. What's that? That makes no sense. Are you talking about the barbecue or something like that? But when it comes to you, I feel like they're kind of like, there's something different here. There's something metaphysical here. Maybe even if they don't want to physically or like mentally fully admit that to themselves and be honest with themselves about that, they can still feel the energy. They can still feel the depth of the connection. And I feel like for them, it's something they kind of think back on, like, what was that? And it almost opens them up to spirituality in a different way. Pluto can also be very obsessive. It is ruled by Scorpio. So I do feel like this person was a little possessive of you maybe, or almost would get jealous but wouldn't let you know. Like, I feel like if you were talking to another guy or another girl, this person would probably get really mad, but I don't think they would show you. I don't think they would like go off on you and be like, what are you doing? They'd probably be like, no, everything's fine. But deep down inside, they are jealous and they are possessive of you, and they do sense this connection. I feel like this person would probably downplay it. They probably present this King of Pentacles in a way as like, oh, I'm just very removed and I'm just very disciplined and down to earth, and like, spirituality, I don't care about that. Water energy, please, that's a joke. But actually, I feel like they are very into, like, your connection has made them think on those things. And they might even look up things that are kind of their version. Like, maybe they're not fully ready to get a tarot reading, but they would look up like alien documentaries or something. You know what I mean? That's kind of on the fringe of like metaphysical subjects. Excuse me. Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting a frog in my throat, but I feel like a lot of you guys have inspired them in a way to be more open to their emotions, to be more open to their feelings. And I do feel like there's a part of them that realizes that what you guys had was really special, and it's made them kind of more aware of the possibility of, maybe there is something to this like soulmate thing. And maybe I rolled my eyes in the past, but like, that's pretty cool, the connection we've had. And I'm not sure if I'm going to have that with anyone else. So let me get some feature cards for pile 3. What features do they miss from pile 3, Spirit? So we got energy. Okay. Walk. Some of you guys have a very like fast walk, or like very like, once you're walking, you're like going in for the kill. You know, you're going very like assertively, I guess. Like, you're walking with a destination in mind. Figure, music taste, face, energy, and laugh. Let's get one more. Bone structure. I feel like your body is just very attractive to them, and there's a strength and vitality to you guys. You also might have a prominent sun is what I'm getting, but there's a vitality to you. There's this power that I feel like you carry with you, where you are, when you walk into a room, you command it. And or some of you guys might be kind of like introverted, and you're not going to try to walk into a room and like completely own it. But I feel like you just have this natural like respect. Like, people just respect you. People just look up to you in a way. They admire you. They see you as a force of nature. They see you as being very powerful. So I feel like this person, they want kind of like a prize. They want someone who is going to have everyone in the room be like, wow, that person was really smart. Who was that? Like, almost like, you know what? Another thing is, they can bring you home to their family. I almost feel like they might have dated people that they couldn't bring around to their parents, or they couldn't introduce to their friends, because their friends would be like, oh my God, who is this? Like, they don't know any of the like subjects we're talking about, or they never get our jokes. And you're so quick mentally that I feel like it's like, wow, I can really have that connection with them. Like to them, it's not just about sleeping with you. It's about that pillow talk afterwards and you knowing what they're talking about and being able to carry the conversation. And also like something about you guys not needing them, being very independent, something about you guys having your own life. And I feel like, again, that makes them into that makes you into a challenge. Like it's not like you're playing hard to get. You are hard to get because you have a good life. And I feel like this person really respects that. Like they look back and they're like, wow, that person's kind of almost like royalty vibes. I want to say king or queen. And I'm hearing that song by Ava Max. So I feel like, yeah, it's like, wow, I found this person that really ticks all the boxes. And they might have even been a little intimidated by you. Not, I don't think fully intimidated, but I feel like they're used to having a little bit of an off power balance in some of their relationships. So with you, the fact that you brought so much to the table, it definitely kind of threw them for a loop, and they weren't really fully prepared for like, okay, so they have their own everything and they're not really that impressed with me. But again, I feel like they respect your musical taste, and also maybe some of you guys have a cool taste in like documentaries. Again, I feel like you guys are really smart and like they respect whatever you're into. So maybe instead of like, maybe they're one of those people that like doesn't like pop music or thinks it's lame or something, and maybe you're into like heavy metal and they really respect that. You know what I mean? Something like that, where maybe they're kind of particular in their tastes and they're not someone to just be like, oh, everything's awesome. They're like, no, that kind of music is super lame, and you're like on the same page with them. Like you're like very like all the bands you're into or all the music you're into, they respect it. But anyway, let's get more cards if I can get these out. Okay. So we got the Lady of the Gift, generosity, receiving, withholding. The Prison Waif, self-sabotage, poverty consciousness. The Hawk Prince, spirit communication, paying attention. The Camel Boy, small steps, asking for help. So I almost feel like for those of these people, I don't know if that's the right way to say it, who are men, you made them feel like a small boy. You made them feel like they were, yeah, like a little kid. I just heard that line so strong in my head from Taylor Swift where she says, and you tilt your head back laughing like a little kid. So it's like, I feel like, again, usually they're used to feeling very powerful. Usually they're used to feeling very in charge. And the fact that you kind of flipped the script on them and suddenly they feel a little nervous around you, or like they're worried for your approval, is what I feel like excites them and kind of scares them at the same time. Like they're like, okay, this person isn't even buying the usual BS. I'm not saying they're full of BS, but you know how sometimes maybe you have like your rehearsed lines, or you'll be in a relationship and you always do a certain thing. You always talk about a certain subject. You always go take a girl to the same restaurant to show off because you know like the maitre d', and they're going to be like, oh, how are you? And you order the same like bottle of wine, and you know what I mean? Like it's like we all don't have that, but a lot of people have those things. It's not even a bad thing. It's just like, okay, this is easy. You know, this makes things easier. I know where I'm going to take my date. And I feel like with you, they're just like, okay, those normal things aren't working. Maybe they would normally flirt with someone by talking in a certain way. Like, you know, maybe they would be not like disrespectful, but make kind of jokes at someone's expense or something like that. And I feel like with you, you would be like, absolutely not. Like, don't talk to me like that, or something where you kind of are a wild card. You know what I mean? They kind of never know what to expect with you. And there's this strong energy of them being like, okay, I got to be on my toes with them. There's an energy of you guys kind of not accepting whatever their usual thing was. And I do feel like that they had a lot of people who were interested in dating them as well. I feel like they had a lot of people where usually their lines would probably work. And maybe a lot of people also would want to date them and have crushes on them. And that's why I think it excited them that you kind of weren't impressed by their usual behavior, their usual kind of shtick that usually works pretty well for them. But with you, you were like, no. I feel like, you know, it's kind of like if you were a champion swimmer and you were the best swimmer, you wouldn't want to just, it wouldn't excite you to win against like some very small town, like middle school swim team, you know? You would only probably get excited for like the Olympics or nationals or some huge thing where you actually had to really work hard and compete, and it was like not sure if you were going to win or not. When it's a sure thing, we just don't get really as excited. And so I feel like this person was really almost, they would like it if you would get mad at them or if you would like not be impressed with them. There's something about you guys, sometimes they would try certain lines on you that they thought were going to work for sure, and you would be like, yeah, anyway, so like you just didn't care. You were just kind of doing your own thing and you were very independent. And I feel like they were just very excited by that. They found it quite sexy, to be honest. And we did get the King of Wands. So I do feel like, again, this person's very attracted to you. And also there's that vibe of them possibly having like, not being a player per se, but maybe a little bit. Maybe if they wanted to be a player, they could be, or maybe they are a player. But with you, it's like, you know what I'm saying is that like line, it's like an Instagram meme that people make, or like one of those text post things that says like, oh, so you're a player? Congrats, I'm the coach. And I feel like that's you guys, where you weren't impressed by them. And that for them, I think was kind of at first like, okay, how do I react to this? And then they really started liking it. Then they really started getting into that and kind of enjoying that. So yeah, I feel like in a way, also there might be a vibe of you guys being more spiritual, because we did get so many water signs. And so you might have been more into spirituality, astrology, tarot at the time, and they might have been kind of skeptical. And I feel like they really kind of are excited by the fact that you guys are into that stuff. They might have kind of rolled their eyes at first, but Spirit's also telling me that for them, that has like your relationship has kind of spiritually awoken them in many ways. So let me get more cards. We got the Silver Waterfall, maturity, dating, and distorted masculine. Some of you guys might even be older than this person. Not everyone, but you might, it's almost like you feel more mature, even if you're just not physically, like chronologically age-wise, actually more mature, but maybe you're just emotionally more mature. But they really like and respect how you guys handle yourselves, and the fact that you guys, you're not like, you're not like just this desperate young person. No, nothing wrong with being young, of course, but I feel like you have, you know what I'm seeing is like Pride and Prejudice, and like Elizabeth Bennet versus like her little sister, I think it's Kitty, who runs off with Mr. Wickham. And you know how they're always like laughing and giggling and they're just very silly. And it's like Mr. Wickham, even though he's with her and he knows she's like an easy target, so he goes after her. He was just always really liking Elizabeth because she is the smart one, but he kind of knows his BS won't work on her. She would never do something as stupid as like running off with him. So I feel like that's you guys, where they like the challenge. They might not have fully wanted to like pursue it because at times it was harder for them, but I feel like they really liked like looking forward to meeting you and seeing you and kind of even making you mad, not like really mad, but like seeing your face when you would be like, I'm not impressed with that. I just think that to them that was a big turn on. Like I feel like they really liked that you were, like I said, hard to get. You weren't impressed. But I feel like you guys are also quite compassionate, very loyal to the people you're around. You're super loyal to everyone. And I feel like when they were around you and you guys would have these private conversations, it was really deep. It was really intense. It was really sweet and loving. And there's a side to you. Maybe they don't even fully get to see that. Maybe you didn't fully have those loving conversations with them, but they can tell intuitively that you guys are quite loving and very protective of the people you actually care about. Like you would go to the bat for anyone that is truly in your like inner circle. And I feel like that means a lot to this person. So they are saying, they are kind of taking some of the blame and saying that they might have had issues with fully stepping up to the plate. And it's almost like they are acknowledging their part to play in this. They are acknowledging that they didn't act perfect, or that they were scared, or that they took the easy way out or something. Maybe they respected you so much and they see you as such a like incredible partner, but they're just like, I need something easy. I kind of chickened out, you know? And maybe there was an energy where you were expecting some chivalry. You were expecting them to kind of come correct, and maybe they didn't to the extent that you needed or wanted. And so they're acknowledging, like, oh, it's kind of my fault. I was immature. I couldn't match up to their level for whatever reason. Let me get some more cards, some final cards for pile 3. What does their person miss about them? What does pile 3's person miss about them? Garden of Venus, rest and renewal. Okay, they find you very attractive, that's for sure, which we've already mentioned. Jewel web, connectivity, benefactor, grace and generosity. So yeah, some of you guys, the way you would look after them, kind of help them out, take care of them, not even like physically taking care of them, but just like emotionally, you know what I mean? And I feel like you had a lot of deep connections that was kind of unspoken. Like you had things that, again, like I said, only you guys shared, only you guys would understand about each other, only you guys saw eye to eye on these things or could talk about these things. And whoever's in their life right now, they can't really talk about it to the same extent. I just heard Saying Sorry by Hawthorne Heights. So I feel like they're coming through to say sorry for not fully stepping up to the plate. But I feel like it's almost like, because they do have a lot of other people interested in them, they decided to go the easy route, maybe some of them, and just do what was easy, do what like just came to them, and they didn't have to work so hard for it. But they can't get you out of their mind. They still definitely think about you guys, and they still definitely have this respect. But I almost feel like they also want to acknowledge that you guys stepped away from the situation with your dignity fully intact. You never tolerated their BS. You never like brought yourself down and like just were like, okay, well, this is all I deserve. I feel like you guys just, like, if they weren't acting right, that was it for you. And again, I feel like they really respect that about you. So even though things might not have worked out, they are coming through with a lot of, like I said, respect and admiration for you guys. So I am going to end the reading there, but if you guys want to watch the extended version, I am going to post that over on my Patreon, and I'll post the links for that underneath the timestamps in the description and in the comments. So if you want to join us over there, we'll get into a lot more detail. We can talk about the things we can't really talk about on YouTube, like that King of Wands energy, and get into all those details. But you will also get access to over 25 of my additional readings and new ones which go up all the time. So yeah, if you want to join us over on Patreon, join the party, then head over there. Like I said, link in my description and underneath the timestamps in the comments as well. So guys, I really hope it resonated. Let me know how it did. I love hearing from you guys, so let me know your thoughts, and make sure to like this reading, give it a thumbs up if it did resonate, and also make sure you're subscribed and have notifications on so you can find out as soon as I post. And if you guys want a private reading with me, you can also get that over at my website, briarrosetarot.com, to get a one-on-one session where I pull cards specifically for your situation and channel specifically for whatever you have going on, whatever kind of reading you want. So with all of that being said, I will see you guys very soon in the next reading. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will see you then. Take care. Bye. Hey, pile 4, so if you guys picked this fruit cake, this is going to be your reading. So on the top, there's 2 little walnuts decorating it, as well as what I think is a golden raisin, a blueberry, and a little cranberry. And it's all decorated with chopped up nuts, I believe, and those same chopped up nuts are decorating the sides. There's also some piped on frosting, probably vanilla on the top. So maybe this has a fruit filling. It's super elegant, perfect for a little garden or tea party. But let's get right into your tarot. So you guys got the Queen of Swords, the Fool, the 8 of Cups, the Emperor, the Temperance card, Page of Swords, 10 of Cups, and finally the 3 of Cups. So I feel your person really misses your conversation. A lot of you guys in this pile are highly intelligent and great conversationalists, and I feel like you would give them second opinions on certain things. Like if they had a problem or an issue, they would come to you and they would be able to talk it out with you. A lot of you guys are genuinely interesting conversationalists. Like you have interesting things to say. When you talk, you're not just going to be kind of boring or dry, like you're going to have a lot of insight. You're going to have a lot of knowledge about different situations. And so I feel like your person kind of really relied on you for that. Like it feels like they could come to you and really tell you anything. And I feel like this person saw you as a major source of strength for them, for whatever they're trying to build. They always kind of knew that they could rely on you and you would be there to help. I feel like you guys in this pile are highly loyal. You guys would give the shirt off your back to your loved ones. You would fight for them. You would do whatever you need to do. If they are in a bad place emotionally, you can probably sense that. And the way you talk to them, you might not even be the type to like directly call them out or say like, hey, I know you're upset, but maybe you would dance around the issue, but like find a way to cheer them up, find a way to make things better, because I do feel like they relied on you very much for your emotional support, your emotional reassurance that you would give them. And it's like they don't have that in whatever is going on. Like sometimes I feel like you guys would talk about really deep things, deep subjects that are a lot deeper than this person is able to talk about with either their current partner, which definitely can be an energy coming through that I am sensing for them. We did get the Three of Cups as well, so that can talk about that. So I feel like when you guys were together, they could really unleash things on you and really like be honest about certain things that they might have hid from other people. Like it feels like things between you guys got really deep really fast. It might have been like on your first date, you guys are talking about like, I don't know, childhood trauma or something, or like your first meeting, you're talking about like your deepest fears, or like I feel like it just got so deep really early. And I feel like with this person, they have not met anyone else that they can talk about these kind of subjects with in the same way. Like, you know, we're all kind of usually just wearing a mask just to go through society. It's not even necessarily like a bad, horrible thing. It's just like, oh, let me put on my face for the day and let me like not be talking about like really intense issues with like the cashier at the checkout, right? Like we have to kind of have that for like just society to function. But I feel like with you, you guys were able to get so deep and really open up and really be honest with each other in such a beautiful way. And I feel like this person really misses that. And it feels like you guys didn't even need to tell each other stuff when you first met. Like you automatically kind of knew stuff about each other. You automatically felt drawn to them, felt like you knew them, they felt familiar. And because of that, some of you guys might have spent past lifetimes together. And we did get the Fool reverse. So it could be saying that this is not like your first time. This is not a brand new situation for you. This might be like rinse and repeat. Like we've done this in past lifetimes. It might be that you guys have your South Node aspecting a major planet of theirs, like their Sun, Moon, Venus, because I feel like you guys definitely, like especially a conjunction, because I feel like you guys definitely, some of you have known this person before, and that's why you guys were able to have this level of intimacy. Is it's like you've been there before. You've already done this. You already know them. They don't need to really explain themselves to you, and you don't need to explain yourself to them, because again, there's just this familiarity. It's like, oh yeah, you can already tell me everything because like I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not trying to impress you because I already know you. Yeah, they felt a lot of emotional satisfaction with you guys. We did get the 10 of Cups. So they were very emotionally happy when they were with you, when they were around you. Some of you guys, you went out drinking together and you guys went out to like the bars, the clubs, and they really look back on those experiences with such fondness. And I feel like you guys who did get a little tipsy around them, you guys are quite cute when you drink, and they look back with fondness about like, I don't know, I'm seeing someone like the expression on their face. Maybe they look a little dazed, or you know, when someone looks like tipsy and they kind of have like a funny, like out of it expression. I feel like they kind of think back to that and almost laugh or just reminisce fondly about like, oh my gosh, they're so cute when they drink like that. And they're so, they just think you look cute when you're drowsy for some reason. You know, I'm seeing the image of like a sleeping mouse, which is so funny. But yeah, you know how like sleeping mice are cute? I feel like there's something about you guys when you're like just a little tipsy that they're just like, oh my God, maybe their guards are down a little bit more, but they're just think you're really cute. So yeah, there's some reminiscing about that and about your times together, because I do feel like you guys had a lot of fun together. You guys vibe, you have this kind of friend vibe too. Like in addition to having the romance, there's also this friendly, happy vibe together. There's this connection where you like each other. You genuinely like each other. It's not just like, oh, they're really hot and like, yeah, they have an okay personality. I don't know about, I don't know about their personality that much. I don't know if I would want to hang out with them if they weren't looking so good. It's like you guys really feel deeply about each other. You really like each other. You'd probably be friends even if you weren't so attracted to each other. And I think that sometimes that can be rare in romantic relationships. Sometimes people are just with each other because of the attraction. But with you guys, it feels like you truly have a romantic, deep soul connection where you might have even been friends or even siblings in past lifetimes. I know that sounds really weird, but it's not so weird. Yeah, it's not so weird because, each lifetime is a fresh start. So that's like gets kind of wiped clean to some extent. So, but I do feel like you guys have this depth of like loyalty to each other that you usually see in like really deep friendships or really deep lovers or even siblings. So there's just like this, and also like the humor. Like the humor is what's kind of switching it to me to like a friend vibe, where even though I do feel like there's so much attraction, I also feel like you guys can laugh at the same things, you like the same things, you see each other as kind of confidants and equals, which I think is rare. I think a lot of times there can be an imbalance in power in relationships, but with you guys, it's like I'm hearing real recognizes real. So I don't know if that's something you guys said to each other, or it's just like you're looking for someone who is on the same vibe as you. And I feel like they have that. So let me get some astro dice for pile 4. What are the signs? Okay, so we got 10th house, aka Capricorn. Then we got Libra, and we got Saturn, which is also Capricorn. So, Libra is also the 7th house, and it definitely is ruled, it's ruled by Venus, and it definitely deals with relationships, love. So this person might have had Libra or Capricorn placements in their chart, or you might have some of those. But also I do feel that with that 7th house coming up, it's just confirmation that you guys do have this deep soul connection. Another thing that's coming up with Libra for me is Libra can be afraid to rock the boat sometimes. Libra can be afraid to be overly harsh. Libra can be just wanting to kind of keep the peace and keep everything calm. And I'm getting the vibe that for some of you guys, that might have been what happened. It's almost like because you guys see each other as friends and have such respect for each other, you might not have felt capable to kind of hash out the issues. Or even for some of them, they might not have felt comfortable presenting their romantic feelings to you in the first place. Like it might have been a situation where you guys are friends, and so they're like, I don't want them to think I'm a creep if I ask them out, or like, I like them so much and I'd be so devastated if they say no, so I'm just not going to ask. Because Libra can be that kind of hesitant energy that hates conflict and keeps a lot inside. And I'm just feeling like for some of them, like they're very wistful and rueful, but they're kind of talking about you like a friend. And I feel like maybe in a weird way that worked against you. Like maybe even though they saw you as more, they were afraid to come to you with that. They were afraid of how things would change between you, and they were afraid of you looking at them as less, or being like, oh my God, what are you talking about? Like, that's so creepy. We're best friends. Or I don't see you like that. Or just like any kind of rejection from you at all, I feel like would just weigh heavily on their heart. And they didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable. That's coming through as well. So they wanted to keep things happy between you. They wanted to keep things friendly. They didn't want to like make it uncomfortable for you. That's a big thing for them. And I feel like they kind of shot themselves in the foot with that, where like they probably should have been willing to have that difficult conversation. I also feel like it could have been a concern for them about like personal appearance, kind of how it would look if they got shot down by you. Something about dating you for some of you, like maybe their friends I don't know, couldn't see you guys together or something like that, because I am getting 10th house of honors and kind of public respect. And maybe it could even be like it's something at work or at school where if you guys date, everyone's going to talk about it, everyone's going to notice, or there's rules at work against dating. And so you don't want to like look unprofessional by dating this person, or maybe they were like, I don't know, your boss or something, and you know, there's ethical rules in place about those kinds of things. And I feel like there was some kind of a situation where almost like this person wanted to be more vulnerable with their feelings towards you, but they felt like they couldn't because of the judgments of others and because of not wanting to look stupid, not only in your eyes, but in other people's eyes. And maybe something where their friends as well, like if their friends knew about you, I feel like maybe there might have been a situation where like their friends might have thought you weren't as into them as they were into you or something, and they would discourage this person from going after you, or tell this person like, you know, dude, like she doesn't feel that way, you're gonna look like a weirdo if you do that, or like you're so whipped for her, and like teasing them about that to the point where this person didn't want to look like stupid by pursuing you. There's a really strong emphasis on not looking stupid and on being afraid of what other people think. I feel like in a way you guys are better at that. Like you're not as concerned with what other people think of you. But this person is. They do worry about that. And I feel like they really respect the way you guys hold yourself in that way. I want to spin the astro dice one more time, see if we get any more signs. So we got Cancer, third house, and the nodes. I knew we were going to get the nodes. I just knew it. Because I do feel like this is a powerful past life connection. So like I was saying, I feel like you guys might have something aspecting either the north node or especially the south node. So maybe your south node aspecting, especially a conjunction, their sun, their moon, their Venus, or aspecting their south node in some way. But you guys definitely, I wouldn't be surprised if you had spent past lifetimes together. And keep in mind, I'm not saying then that they're your soulmate and you have, like, you only get, well, they can be a soulmate, but we get multiple soulmates, right? We have multiple people we interact with in multiple lifetimes. So I'm not saying that, like, this is it, this is your one person and you only get one. I'm just saying you guys might have known each other in past lifetimes and spent time in past lifetimes and made the choice to meet up again, because it just feels like this energy has been around a long time. And with Cancer, I feel like, again, you guys are very nurturing, very loving to them. They really appreciate that. They really appreciate how you looked after them and you were like super loyal to them, because Cancer is such a loyal sign. It does relate to the mom. It is the mother, Cancer, and it's family, and it's that, you know, feeling you have where you would defend that person no matter what. And Cancers often take on that role in the friend group where they will look after all their friends. They will be the kind of mom of the group and like be like, has everyone eaten? Have you had too much to drink? And that kind of a thing. And I feel like that's, I don't know if you guys were doing that directly, but it feels like there was something where you would counsel them, take care of them, and just being around. Like, I feel like in a way you guys just worried about them, or even if you didn't directly do stuff for them, you would ask them how they are. You would like talk to them in a way that was like sweet and loving, and they like really, really enjoyed that from you. That meant a lot to them, whether you guys know that or not. It meant a lot to them. And then we have the third house ruled by, related to Gemini and Mercury. So again, with this communication vibe and the conversations being so on point, I feel like you guys are a great conversationalist and the conversations can just flow so easily. So anyway, let's get some more of these cards and see what features pile four's person misses about. Pile 4. So we got cheeks. I am getting that some of you guys have a nice butt. So some of you guys have, yeah, a great figure in that way. So we got height, personality, muscles, friend group. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, I didn't even remember putting that in, and then I was saying you guys feel like friends, and we got the friend group. I haven't pulled that one before, so I was like, huh, friend group, because I'm not necessarily feeling that like their friend group like yours, or you were in the same friend group. You could be, but I was like, I wonder what that is, and then I'm like, oh yeah, they're friends. We were just talking about that, but. Yeah, I feel like they miss talking to you like a friend. Like they considered you like a friend, someone they you know how like you look forward to talking to your friend and like just telling them about like the funny thing that happened or like what this person said and you know having those little conversations. I feel like they really miss that about you guys. And some of you guys, they do like your height. I'm seeing for some of you guys you were shorter than them and they really liked that. Like they liked I'm seeing someone like resting their hand on someone's head or on their shoulder or something. But of course, it can be flipped. It could be that you're on the taller side and they really liked that about your height. But I feel like they just really like your figure. They found it very attractive overall. Like everything about your body is very cute to them. Your build. And then I do feel like you guys have really cute cheeks and lips. And yeah, I'm seeing some full lips that aren't even that wide, although you could have wide lips as well. But I feel like they find you very cute and alluring, but not in like a way where you're trying to look that way. It's almost like they find you the most attractive in those moments when you're kind of distracted and not paying attention and you're just kind of doing your own thing. And I feel like they really like your skin as well. The color of your skin is very beautiful to them and they find the texture of your skin to be very nice. So anyway, let's get into some of these cards. So we got the Dragon's Duel. Let me flip that so I can actually read it. Inner conflict, morality, conscious choice. And then we got the Ice Queen, ideas preserved, non-action, entitlement. We got the Metal King, discipline, armor, boundaries. The Word Lord, communication, praise, dishonesty. And the Spirit Whisperer, divine guidance, higher knowing. So I do feel like, again, we have this thing where you guys are really good with words, really good in conversation, and they're just acknowledging that about you. I also feel like there's something about you guys having this connection to the other side and being very, like we do have Cancer and being a little bit of a portal for them. Maybe they were a little bit skeptical, and you would be the one who would kind of bring them these ideas, or you would be the one to kind of have these deep conversations with them that I feel like some of you guys helped them heal with some of the things you said, even just your attitude, even if you weren't talking deeply about like childhood stuff, just the way you were like so nice to them and really loving towards them. I feel like it really has rubbed off on them. Just to know that someone views them in this way, just to know that someone cares in the way you care, I feel like it was a spiritual thing for them. And there is a connection you have to the other side where you might have intuitively known what to ask them or intuitively known kind of that they were upset about a certain situation and to tread lightly. But I feel like they really just loved how you would kind of look after them in that way. There's also something where you guys, like I said before, you're really smart. And I feel like at first you guys might come off as a bit of an ice queen, where maybe you're not just open to everyone. And I feel like they really appreciated that they kind of got to break down your wall. And I feel like they respect that about you. Like, it's like, wow, they carry themselves with a lot of self-respect and dignity. They're not just trying to appeal to everyone. They're not just desperate for everyone's attention. They're kind of looking after their own safety, their own part in this. And they're not just desperately searching and letting anyone in. They're going to make sure they're taking care of themselves. And I feel like they really, it's almost like you're an inspiration to them in some way. They might have learned how to do that for themselves from you. I feel like you guys have a very diplomatic nature and you're good at telling someone to kind of back off, but without saying that. Like maybe someone's like, how much are you making at this company? Or how did you do on the test? Or some personal question that you don't really want to answer. And you would just have a really diplomatic way of being like, oh, I did good anyway, and like blocking it out in a polite way. You know what I mean? Like not showing too much. Like I feel like you guys have a good way of like being friendly to someone where they don't know that you're kind of like blocking them out a little, but you are good at putting up that protection. And I feel like they really saw that as very dignified. And it's almost like, how can I learn from this person? How can I be that dignified? How can I carry myself with that level of grace that they carry themselves with? So I feel like they really are inspired with you mentally. And some of you guys might be even into like art or music that they're not into. You guys might have really great like musical or artistic taste, or books or something that you read where it's like almost like I feel like they would have loved to have gotten to impress you. And now they might miss the opportunity to show you like, hey, look, I'm into this. I read that book you mentioned, or I'm into this band that you mentioned. I'm cool just like you, or I'm smart. I can read books too, you know, like I feel like they want to show off to you because you guys are so intelligent. And I think it just comes out in your conversation. Like it's one thing to be intelligent, but you know, no one really knows and you're just kind of working alone. But I feel like you have a great way of weaving it into conversations, and not that you're trying to show off. I don't think you are. But like if someone brings up some really complicated subject, you probably know what it is. Like you probably would be like, oh yeah, I read that book. If they're like, oh, War and Peace, you're like, oh yeah, I read it. I'm not saying you guys have had to have read War and Peace. Obviously, that's like an extreme example, but maybe you're just highly educated in a certain field, or you just are widely educated about a lot of different subjects and you're good at like trivia and stuff. I just feel like you carry yourself well in conversations, and there's so much grace and diplomacy. You guys would make like a great diplomat or politician or something like that. And I feel like they just, yeah, they like that about you guys. And I feel like, again, you can kind of stand up for yourself when you need to. We did get the Dragon's Duel, and I feel like there's a vibe of you guys sometimes having to have difficult conversations with them or with certain people. And I just think, I don't know why it keeps coming up, but your boundaries, the way you lay down the law kind of, or the way you gently let someone know that like, oh, no, that's a little out of line. But anyway, like being respectful and nice about it, but also like just putting up those boundaries. I don't know. They keep mentioning that. So let's get more cards. We got serendipity, reparenting yourself, life purpose, and worthiness. So again, with this parent vibe, or you guys helping them heal childhood traumas, that just really is a big thing. I feel like they've learned so much from you in that sense. Like, I feel like the conversations you would have on that subject, or just the general way you would look at them and talk to them about things they were stressed about, it just added so much to them and made them feel really good about themselves. It's like you really saw them down to their core and really helped them with their self-esteem in a way. And they are coming through with some gratitude and gratefulness towards you. Also, you guys are just really beautiful. I feel like sometimes if you guys would wear something like low cut, they just found it like really, really attractive. And they were very curious about how you are in that way, and wanted to kind of see more of you in that sense. Kind of dancing around it because, you know, it is YouTube, but of course I am doing my extended version, so that might come up on the Patreon version of that, and you can always watch that underneath the timestamps will be the link. But yeah, I feel like this person feels like you coming into their life was a little bit of a miracle. Like it wasn't supposed to. I'm getting some of you guys weren't supposed to meet. It was just a random event. It was just like two people who were almost in the wrong place or something at the right time. Like, or the right place at the wrong time, I guess, where you just weren't necessarily supposed to meet, but like the universe made it happen. And I feel like they look back like, why was this person even around in this situation? Or how did we meet? Or why was I there? Like, I don't know. I feel like they're just saying it happened randomly. And it really feels very special to them. I actually think they have a very special little corner of their heart for you that's very like tucked away only for you. Like if they are in a current relationship, which they very well could be, because I am getting that vibe, and we also got the Three of Cups. I feel like they definitely reminisce on this, and they're just like, wow, like that was so special. That was such an incredible time. And some of you guys, I just heard Dancing in the Moonlight, that song. So maybe some of you guys danced I don't know, outdoors or something, or we're dancing together. But I feel like the vibe of that song is just so like free and open, and the lyrics are like everybody here is out of sight, they don't bark and they don't bite, and it's supernatural delight. So anyway, I'm not going to sing the whole song, but I'm just saying it's like a happy vibe. It's like everyone is vibing, everyone is having a good time, everyone feels relaxed. And I feel like that's how they felt with you, which is funny because it's like there's this hesitancy that they have to fully reveal their feelings. So they were nervous, and they did have that kind of chemistry, or that like nervousness you get around a crush, you know, where you don't really want to make a fool of yourself. But I also feel like you guys could be so open and honest with each other and have really deep conversations that probably they never had with anyone else. And it meant a lot. It helped them a lot. They grew a lot from this. And so they are coming through with a lot of gratefulness. So I do want to get some cards from this deck to close out the reading. So Spirit, what can you tell us about pile fours? What do they miss? Pile four's person, what do they miss about pile four? Dragon's Hoard, protecting the future. Lost Compass, getting back to integrity. Also, you guys are really honest. They really miss how honest you guys are. Stranger Curiosity, Skywriting the Fates, and Woodwife's Adaptability. Wow, how interesting. We got the nodes and we got the fates. I feel like that's another confirmation of past life or something fated, something that was supposed to be. I think they're very curious about what you guys have going on in your life. I feel some of you guys have really moved on and been very adept and skilled at just, okay, they're telling me to take one more card, so I'm going to take one more. What is this final card you want me to get, Spirit? Stars in the Sky, Limitless Possibility. So maybe they're saying that there's a chance that you guys might get back together or something, or they think of that. They think of the possibility of you guys being fated, and it's like, don't give up on me now. But, you know, I would never recommend someone to wait on someone else. I always think that life unfolds as it should, and if you're supposed to end up with someone, you will. But in the meantime, why not make the best of it and have fun and date and enjoy? So I'm not saying you guys should wait for this person, and I would honestly never recommend that, because a lot of the waiting or the reunion energy comes down to like who's done their shadow work. It's not even about love. It's about like, how can we logistically make this happen on this planet, you know? Because you can be connected on the astral plane with deep love, but sometimes that's where it remains. And then on the physical plane, you're in another relationship or you're doing your own thing, you know? And we can love multiple people. And so anyway, I'm not telling you guys to wait for this person, but maybe they think about that a lot. I feel like maybe when this came out reverse, I definitely was getting the message that they had imagined a future with you. They had envisioned something long-term with you. And I think they still think of that. But, you know, like I said, I would never guarantee anything at all. And I think it's important to like make your best, happiest life for you as you are right now, and not just like wait for someone else, because who knows what they're going to do, you know, but, or who knows what can happen also with the fates in life and random events that happen. But I do feel like that's something they think about, that they would like to get back to you. And they loved how honest you were. A lot of you guys are very blunt and honest, and you'll give your honest opinion, your honest advice about a situation. And they really, really miss that. Like, I feel like they might not have anyone else in their life who will be as honest with them and tell them what's going on in the same way you guys will. So yeah, this is a really sweet energy. Pile 4, how beautiful. If you guys want to watch the extended version, that's going to be up on my Patreon, and I'm going to post the link underneath the timestamps in my description and in the comments. And of course, you'll get access to all my other readings. We have over 25 over on Patreon, and you'll get access to all of them. So why wait? Go ahead and sign up, join the party over at Patreon. Like I said, a link in my description for that. And make sure to let me know how it resonated, guys, because I love hearing from you guys. I love hearing your stories. I'm curious about this pile. So let me know what your thoughts are on this, and make sure to give it a thumbs up. If it did resonate, hit the like button and subscribe, turn on notifications so you can find out as soon as I post next. So I am sending you guys so much love and light, and I will be back very soon for another reading. So I will see you guys then. Take care of yourselves. Bye.